Ready when you are, CB. Do I start in Canada or Mexico?
We didn't do Animal Kingdom.
You really AK hate us? This is the 24 days of Dillo's Disney reviews. She is Jen.
Hello.
And I am Frank, and we are in great attempt to review 24 things that we did on our Walt Disney World meetup in November of 2025. I did leave out the 2025 part, to be fair. I'm never going to get this introduction right.
No, again, it's going to be a malaprop, the whole thing.
So in November of 2025, we had our third annual Dillos Diz meetup. Many of our community core members over at DillosDizResort.com joined us. DillosDizResort.com, of course, is our Patreon with memberships beginning as low as $1 per month. DillosDizResort.com. One of the things that we did on that trip, those couple of days, we are talking about here today in a more elongated review, and that is Geo-82.
It happened. We made it. We made it there.
Yeah, I didn't mean to rhyme review with 82, but here we are.
It works.
1982, of course, is the year you were born, so 82.
I mean, it all makes sense, and it's where I belong.
Should there be a shirt that says Gen 82 in the Geo-82 font?
Oh, maybe. I don't know who would buy that, but yes. I probably should make it just for myself for a future trip.
Jennifer's born in the year 1982 would buy
right,
that.
All of them.
Gobble it up.
It's fine. I'll find those specific keywords and make a whole Pinterest board for it or something. I don't know.
In one of the reviews that we did this month, I don't know the order of these reviews as we record them, but we talked about Test Track version 3.
Yeah.
And in that conversation, we were talking about kind of the old school EPCOT that is being reintroduced into the park. You know, little hints and seasonings, whether we're talking about Space 220 or the updates to Test Track version 3, Geo-82, while a little more upscale in nature, also brings those vibes. So I think that's a lot of what we'll talk about here. Plus, the evening we spent at Geo-82 with Theme Park Rob and Jeffers and Lewis and Val, who were seated at a separate table, but not too far away.
Not too far. I was happy that at least we were close by.
Yeah. Jen, you in July? When did you go? July?
Yes,
you went?
July. Mm-hmm.
So I know you didn't go to Geo-82, but Mr. Snydillo and Jeffers partook in the Geo-82. Jeffers talked a little bit about the podcast. Mr. Snydillo has brought it up. Going into this, what were some of the things you were thinking about? What were your expectations that maybe you were or were not dilloing about Geo-82?
I don't think I was dilloing the vibes. I felt confident that it would meet the expectation of the EPCOT-y views, vibes that I enjoy, and I was correct. They did not disappoint, those things.
Yeah, the vibes were definitely the thing because, with this meetup, we arrived on a Wednesday night, and we had the Very Merry Christmas Party on Friday, Jollywood Nights on Saturday, which left Thursday open for a while in the planning process. Not that we plan. For a long time, I thought that might be an Epic Universe day to visit and just to see it for what it was. The 9-year-old shut that down. She said, absolutely not will you see Epic Universe without me, at least for the first visit, which it complicates the matter. But we slowly leaned into the idea of this being the Thursday being an EPCOT day, which was coupled by us being able to grab reservations at Geo-82 in that 60-day window. Now, we didn't purchase our ticket until 14 days out, but the Geo-82 the idea of having the Geo-82 experience, especially later in the day at EPCOT, where we really enjoy the vibes at night in EPCOT, was lent to the purchase of a one-day park pass.
I mean, now when we say us grabbing the reservation,
Mhm.
who are we referring to?
Well, I will say I did have a reservation just earlier in the day, so I will take credit on the 60-day window for having a reservation. But Jeffers is our master reservationist,
Yes.
so he was wheeling and dealing his Geo-82 reservations all throughout the 60 days leading up. Every day of the 60-day window, Jeffers was on the Geo-82 bus.
Someone has to do it, and he is most likely to have reservations. So.
Listen, if we can sell DillosDisResort.com anyway, it's that you too can have a role like Jeffers has as the master reservationist.
Yes, exactly.
There's many roles to be filled over at the resort. It's just our Patreon and requires, some participation on that end.
That's right. I mean, we already talked about our instigator.
That's
So,
true.
I mean, everyone plays their part.
Everyone has a role. It's just like being a cast member at Disney. You can be part of the cast.
That's right.
Yeah, as also evident by our Full House introduction over on TikTok and the Insta Reels.
Can't believe it's not viral yet.
Sure. Come on. John Stamos was at Epcot that whole weekend with the Beach Boys.
Listen, let me just side tangent about that. We're going to be in Epcot. We finally make the decision we're going to Epcot. And I'm like, oh, Eat to the Beat is going on. Who could we see? Who's it going to be? Is it, I saw that David Archuleta had announced it. I was like, who do we have? Now, I am not saying anything against any of the performers at Epcot. I love all the performers at Epcot. I think they are all fantastic. However, the time we were there for Eat to the Beat was one of the Epcot performers, which is great. I did not DIllo my expectations enough while looking into those performers, and therefore was like, oh, a few days later, the Beach Boys are going to be there, which means John Stamos will probably be there. That's fine. And he's saying forever.
Well, my employment here in New York City requires some performances to come into the venue from time to time, and the Beach Boys and John Stamos both have been at this venue in the past. I'm fairly certain the line and the crowd to get into the American Adventure Pavilion outdoor area theater space, whatever it's called there, because this isn't a factual we just call things what they are.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because I saw a great, I reposted this in our Facebook group, that someone joked that the line for the Beach Boys was now all the way at Pixar Pier in California Adventure. That's how far the line went for John Stamos and the Beach Boys with John Stamos, however we want to phrase it. The amount of people seem to exceed what the venue I work at holds. Like, that's how many people were waiting for the Beach Boys and John Stamos. I was like, whoa, that is intense for that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as the years go on. If they were to go back to like a reservation type system for days like that to control, because you think about it like, oh man, I can't even believe that many people that were in Epcot that day wanted to do that. But it's like, oh, people probably went to Epcot that day to do that. So then you go, oh, are they going to have to start capping those days when there's performers that bring those crowds in? Because they probably weren't thinking about that this time.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing that I really take away from that as well is, Brian Wilson passed away recently, and I think about what, as the Beach Boys get older, I also think about, like, will John Stamos pick up that mantle and have it be his own someday when all the Beach Boys are no longer with us. I mean, Stamos is still a young guy, so I do wonder if there's a John Stamos and the Beach Boys, but the Beach Boys are or we can, it's not a happy conversation to have right now, and this is not what this review is about. So I will leave it at that. But that was my takeaway. I was like, man, Stamos was here in New York City doing it. He's in Epcot doing it, for goodness sake.
Yep.
Appearing at cast member orientation, the college program orientation. He's doing all the things. He was in Epic.
By the way, first of all, I would die if John Stamos came into my training. But then there's a thought of, do these kids even know who John Stamos is? You better know that. That should be a requirement for working at Disney.
When the 9-year-old sees John Stamos, she's like, oh, he was the chef on that Little Mermaid concert. He's Uncle Jesse. He was on General Hospital.
You want to really go back?
I'll take you all the way back. 40 years ago.
This episode is not about John Stamos. No,
it is about Geo-82, which we have about another 10 minutes to talk about.
Should we have a John Stamos review in one of these 24 minutes?
Let's talk about John Stamos for a second. So we ended, Jeffers kind of angled his reservation skills to, we had around a 7:30 reservation. So, there was the hope, even with how quickly things can turn over. Will we get to see Luminous from the Geo-82 location? And the answer was yes.
Yeah. And not disillusionment.
Not disillusionment.
It's called Luminous. And which we weren't expecting. We didn't know. We didn't know whether or not we would be able to, and how it was going to play out, and we had to kind of DIllo that expectation a bit of like, we're just going, and we'll see what happens. And I don't know. Yeah.
So, Jen, what was, you arrive on kind of the west side of Spaceship Earth. That's the entryway. There's a little hallway that separates the exit area of Spaceship Earth to the outdoors. There's a little hallway that you go down for Geo-82. They did a little greeter there. It takes you up the elevator into a waiting room until, and that was all very quick for us. We didn't have to wait long. It was the end of the day. What was your take on that experience from the entry point until we were about to be seated?
So back when I was an operating participant in the early to mid 2000s, I was in this space when it was office space in a little, conference, but mostly office space up there. But for the life of me, I could not remember, and I still don't, how I got up there or where the entrance was or anything like that. So, my memories of how to get to that space are not there. And I might have to ask OPP about this to see if because he was there longer than I was, and he was probably up there more times than I was, if he remembers how we got up there. Because I would be interested to see if, is this how we did it? Or was there another entryway? I like that it feels hidden when you go, especially if you're exiting Spaceship Earth, you're not paying attention over there. You're just like, right. Which way do I go? I got to get out of here. And so I like that it feels hidden. I like that it's pretty simple downstairs and basic. But then once you go upstairs, you get the EPCOT vibes right away. And I think all the art on the walls, I was like, yep, all of this. How do I get all of these photos? And I want them all.
There is something about elevators in EPCOT that seem to go together very well. Whether we're talking about this, whether we're talking about the old fake elevators in the seas with the hydrolators. There used to be an elevator that would take you up from Journey into Imagination's exit into the ImageWorks. You have the Space 220. Did I say that one already? Elevator that takes you up. That is a journey. There's something about that is very Epcot-y for some reason. And that was certainly part of that. And I think it plays into how fans of Disney love their reveals. They love their castle reveal. That's something that is part of, I think, experiences that I don't know if it's clearly identified to the general public, but it's something that we love. We love reveals, and that is one of them. We got a seat by the window, just past the dessert party or the fireworks party, however it's identified. The package that you get to view Luminous. That includes the champagne and desserts and the whole thing, and is a high priced number. And but obviously we were kind of in a good location to view Luminous. So what you ordered? What you just had one drink, or did you have two drinks?
I had one drink that. Did I? No, I only had one.
You finished that one, though. You finished that one.
I did, but it took me the length of everyone finishing two drinks to have one drink, because I was like, I'll have this, and I am set for the night. I am looking up if I can remember
It
what
was
I had.
It was a rosé situation.
It was like a sparkling rosé of sorts. Where are those small bites? Feature cocktails, wine. I mean, I feel like I'm not seeing it because all of these are like bottles of wine. But yeah, it was like that's why, because I'm on lunch menu. Dinner.
You can keep looking. My two drinks were, and I didn't know if I'd have two drinks, I guess, but one in Rome, right?
Yeah.
And what I couldn't smell Rome burning from Geo-82, just to be clear. I started with the certified New York sour at $26 with the Old Forester 920 Prohibition style bourbon. So cherry, yuzu, lemon, and red wine float. And I chased that with the brown butter old fashioned at $28. The Woodford Reserve double oaked bourbon, brown butter maple hella cocktail, and some bitters. And I'll say this, right? And we talked a little bit after. This is before we went to Beacon Barrel the next day for the first time. But having been at Oga's, having been at other lounges, again, part of this podcasting experience we've been through is experiencing more of these lounges and the cocktails at these lounges. And if you're going to charge this amount of money for cocktails, which is, $10 higher than, say, Oga's, then you gotta make sure you're bringing it every time. You gotta bring it, and that was the thing about these cocktails, is that they were, I say fully rounded. It's probably, but I felt like there wasn't like, okay, this tastes one way, and then the next sip tastes different, and then the bottom of this drink is better than the top portion of it. There was none of that. It felt like a well stirred, shaken, not stirred, whatever it is. Is why I never went to bartending school, everyone. But really well presented and concocted, and for that, in this environment, worth the price because of also the vibes and the experience you're getting,
and the ice cubes in your drink,
and the ice cubes, which it's probably like $3 on its own. Like, have a glass of ice. Well, if you want the spaceship style ice cubes, it's gonna be $3. No, they didn't say that, but I'm not surprised. And I'll just also add, because I don't know if we'll get to it, is that Bourbon and I, we don't get along a lot. And just I don't know, not in like a I'm drunk way, just in it does something to my system, and I had to go through a little bit of that after, because and I also think it's the better the quality of the bourbon, the worse it is for my insides.
So I did check the menu online, and I'm not sure what drink I had. I almost feel like maybe the menu at Geo-82 is a little bigger than what I'm seeing online, and I went to my photos to even check if I had a picture of the inside, and I do not. I only have a picture of the outside with my fancy glass, so I'll be happy to share that on the social so everyone could see the drink. But it was definitely like a sparkling rosé. Price point was probably in the 20s, like everything else, which was very lovely. And I had a Rosa Regale earlier in the day, so I just kept the vibe going. But I am not a huge, I'm not a huge drinker at this point anyway, but like, I'm not huge on like bourbon, whiskey. Like, I'm not into those drinks typically. So it was hard for me to be like, oh, I feel like I should try a fancy drink because I'm in Geo-82, but also I don't know if I want any of these, and do I try it just to try it, or should I just get something and chill out? And so that's kind of the route I took. But all the drinks looked very fancy. The ice cubes are fancy. Mr. Snydillo, one of his favorite things about anywhere, Disney Cruise, Geo-82, same thing, is the fanciness of ice cubes. When they have a good stamp to them, when they have a good shape to them, all the things. It just, it adds a little something extra.
Yeah, and again, in overall presentation, Edgar was our server and was really good about pacing out the time spent at Geo-82, especially as it led up to Luminous. I think my only and we talked about this a little bit in the test track review, is the view is great. The fireworks view is obviously awesome. Like zero complaints about that. And I also feel like, sure, you watch fireworks from different locations in the parks over the years, but Luminous I've now seen from the Lagoon, from Geo-82, from the Skyliner, from the top of Topolino's. I feel like there's so many random locations that I've watched this pyrotechnic display nighttime spectacular. It makes me laugh a little bit, but what I did talk about was I wanted the area around the Walt statue, which is lovely when it's firing on all cylinders. I think I just need a little more. I need a little more going on in that area.
Yeah. I mean, and EPCOT fireworks and nighttime shows are always tough because so much happens on the water.
Yeah.
That, to get the full experience, you do kind of have to see what's going on the water. For me, I'm like, whatever. I'm fine wherever I am seeing it. So it also depends on what you're looking for and what you want.
Yeah, and Geo-82, best place to hear the soundtrack of Luminous, because a lot of the spoken word I miss in every one of those areas I just mentioned. The Skyliner you don't hear it, but around the Lagoon or where they do pipe in the music at Topolino's, I still picked up a lot of the spoken word more clearly in Geo-82.
Yeah, I appreciate that about Disney and Disney property in general, that if there's a spot where you can watch the fireworks, you're hearing what's happening during the fireworks, which is very cool. And for me, we talked about our experience at the Very Merry Christmas Party on a theme park Thursday, that I felt like, what was happening during those fireworks? I can't hear them very well. And here I am in a restaurant hearing EPCOT fireworks perfectly. So.
And that was, again, a juxtaposition of that. We'll talk about the juxtaposition of hearing the soundtrack in Geo-82 versus not hearing it in our location of Very Merry, but also we'll compare a little bit Geo-82 to Beacon Barrel and how maybe those two things shouldn't always be back-to-back like we did. But in the overall, I think, would I go back? Yes. Would I go back in the middle of the day? Probably not. I feel like this is the sweet spot to go to Geo-82.
Oh yeah, 100%. It's tough because it is adults only, and a lot of our trips outside of, our meetups and stuff are with the kids. So it's going to be tough to get back there, which is why, when Jeffers had this opportunity in July, and I was telling Mr. Snydillo, when are you going to go? You got to go now.
Mr. Snydillo can't even get on Slinky Dog Dash yet. So come on.
Go! So I'm glad he was able to get there. And so I would absolutely go again if the opportunity came up. But I agree. Nighttime vibes are where it's at.
Yeah. Across the board. Staff was great. And the overall, it feels a very EPCOT. I mean, and when we first started the podcast, we used to do a little AM or PM. Do you like this in the morning or you like this at night better in the Disney parks? And after a while, we realized we just like nighttime better.
Nighttime always.
Yeah, Disney parks at night is usually the winner. It's very rare that the daytime wins. But this is no exception with Geo-82. So that will wrap things up here on our latest edition in the 24 days of DIllo's Disney reviews and 25. I can't even say for sure that the 24 days will be consecutive. It's just we're going to try to get 24 in, I think, during the month of December.
Oh,
I'm making up the rules as I go along.
In my head, I'm like, the first 24 days of December are...
I mean, that's what it should be. But as we just had a 20-minute technological gap, I feel like we've lost the day. We've lost the day. We're a day behind now.
This 40-minute episode of a Geo-82.
Yeah, that will be edited into 20 barely because of my restarting the computer. Until next time, she's Jen and I'm Frank. Bye-bye.
Deuces. The Dillos Diz podcast is hosted by Frank Cardillo and Jen Cardillo Snyder. Music produced by Matt Harvey. Logos and video production courtesy of Snydillo Studios. Dillos Diz Resort is our Patreon with tiers starting as low as $1 per month. You can visit DillosDizResort.com to learn more. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, X Twitter, and Facebook at Dillos Diz. Check us out on YouTube by visiting youtube.com/DillosDiz. Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there. We also have merch available on TeePublic and Etsy. For all this and more, visit our one-stop shop, DillosDiz.com. Dillos Diz Podcast 2025.